Namaste, my loves. Hello, everyone. A beautiful, beautiful day. Akasha here, Nan Akasha from nanakasha.com. And I'm really excited about the topic today. There's so much happening in the world. Everyone is aware that we're having a massive change. We're having a metamorphosis. We're having a breakdown. We're having a meltdown. We're having a transmutation, a transfiguration, a shape-shifting. And yes, and the ancients knew this. And if you've been in different spiritual paths or other places where maybe you've heard of this for a while, because it's been prophesized since ancient times that this moment would be a time of the change of cycles. So the masters of cycles and the masters of time, and truly the masters of so much more that we have not realized, we have not respected, are the Maya. And there are still living Maya right around me. I live in a Mayan village, and fortunately, most of the houses have been changed to square concrete houses versus their beautiful oval shaped Maya houses that are just, they're brilliant. Like when you understand it, you have one per room. They face with two doors directly opposite each other. And if a storm comes, you just open the doors and the wind goes right through and the house doesn't, nothing falls down. And then you come back and everything's fine. There's just all kinds of really incredible wisdom. So I've been studying ancient cultures. I've been studying ancient wisdom. I've been going to mystery schools based on ancient teachings in Egyptian and in Egypt as well. Mayan, I've been here for 10 years and I work with some elders and I work with different teachers from Guatemala to here. And I've been in the Celtic world, the goddess world for many, many years, 16 years, very active. But since then, that's very much a part of me, and ancient Greece and so on. So all of these cultures, if you like to investigate ancient wisdom, ancient scriptures, ancient philosophies, maybe you've read the Hermetic laws, the universal laws by Thoth or by Hermes, the Kabbalion that's written by the initiates, right? These are wisdoms. These are laws, infallible laws of the universe that the ancients, the prophets and the prophetesses, right? The priests and the priestesses, every culture had them. And just because almost everywhere they've been erased from the art, from the history books, from the texts, from the carvings, from even the oral traditions, then when the masculine energy took over the world, okay, and it's not men, all right, that energy took over the world, right? It shifted. And now we've entered unity for 13 years now. 14, we're in the 14th year, or we're going towards it. So we have to wake up that we are in a place that is not like we grew up in. It wasn't here before. We have access to states of consciousness that only through unity can you reach. So everyone in the world, including you and I, are standing on a platform. All right. And we're standing on a platform that is a time spiral, and it's moving. And the whole thing is evolving and it's moving, and it's actually moving in a predetermined way, because all of existence, all reality is complete. It's done. It's happening simultaneously. You could intend that you are going to you in the 1890s. And if you're good enough at that mystery, that's really just knowing how to shift your vibration, knowing. Right? So what happens? The beauty is that you begin to blossom. You begin to open up. The wisdom's inside of us. The remembering is inside of us. It's living in our ancient DNA. It's living in our cells. And we came with a light body. It's all programmed with the wisdom we wanted access to easily in this lifetime. We were not given a manual. We were not told how we actually work, or were trained or guided or even insisted that we kept our bodies and our minds clear, that we learned mastery of mind and emotion, learned how to breathe in a certain way, learn how to rejuvenate the body, learn how to think and see and speak and understand the powers of your intention, of your belief, of your self-image, because everything is a mirror. Everything is a mirror. This has been said in every culture. It's been said by people in ancient times. It's been said by people new times. And we can't avoid it anymore. And it's not like, oh, this person's being a reflection to me. Yeah, that's true. I was kind of grumpy earlier. Now someone's being grumpy to me. Okay, I get it. This is way deeper. There's nothing you look at, nothing you see, nothing you taste, nothing you experience. The sun, the walk on the beach, the beautiful cacao, okay? Whatever it is, it's a reflection of you. You're the projector. So you're not performing. You are meant to be realizing you're the creator, but it's been created already. And if you would surrender the how and surrender the timing and step back into a cosmovision, a belief about reality, a template for reality on your planet, then you would understand that you get to decide the atmosphere on your planet. So I had a dear, dear friend. Give me one sec. Fantastico. I had a dear, dear friend named Jackie, and she was the most powerful spiritual being. And she helped me so much to get over my grief from my daughter, Jordan, dying. And she was a lot of fun to play with because she liked to go, let's tone until we go to a whole new state of consciousness. Let's learn this and do it and repeat it and get into it. And we did everything from tarot cards and toning and, all kinds of stuff, channeling and everything. And we would do this a minimum of once a week, but that was our agreed upon time. My ex would watch my babies, watch football, do his ironing or something, I don't know. And I would go play with her all day. So she had a saying that I heard her say before I really knew her very well. And I was a bit shocked by it, because here's the first thing I want you to understand. And then we're going to dive into the wisdom that I want to share with you today. So everything's coming through. I'm writing several books at once. The retreats that I do, the work that I do is shifting. It's shifting because the authenticity has to be there. So I am doing private VIP days, virtual and in person, anywhere on the planet, if you want to fly me there, or here where I am. And we have a buffet of things to pick from. You can do 1 day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. I just did a week-long one, and they're completely tailored to you. You could do it yourself for your birthday, for a big transition for this year, for if you have a transition in your life, like moving, job change, divorce, marriage, birth, death, big shifts in your consciousness, your mental picture, your self-image. That's a big life transition. It needs a ceremony. It needs a pilgrimage into your heart. It needs you to acknowledge it. It needs you to do a rite of passage, let's call it. So what happened? What was I talking about? Okay. What happens is that we come with a blueprint and we come with potential, and nothing is judging us, and it doesn't matter whatsoever if anyone is agreeing with us, if they're not agreeing with us. The world around us is 100% the movie that we are projecting. And yes, we are projecting it mostly subconsciously and unconsciously. Invisible and hidden beliefs, patterns, frequencies throughout your body, your chakras, every layer of your body, emotions, minds, mindsets, beliefs about a culture, beliefs about a gender, beliefs about how someone treated you, beliefs about whether you're good enough. whether they were someone else's or yours, you at some point agreed to them and believed them and focused on them long enough that now they are natural. And that's the hook. We want to know what it is, know how to attack it, know how to cut it out, know the steps to do, check them off on a checklist, be done, say, okay, that's done. What's next? And evolution doesn't work that way. Spiritual evolution doesn't work that way. Self-realization doesn't work that way. And that's your job. Your mission is self-realization. Right now, everything is falling apart. It's a good thing. Do you remind yourself of that? Does it mean that you can't have sadness or grief or fear or shock or react to what's happening? No, but you better get yourself in hand right away. You want to get control of that energy, because every single second and millisecond you are thinking or saying or speaking or feeling that something is bad, that it is negative, and you're talking about all the potentials. What if this happens? What if that happens? And I'm afraid of this happening. I'm afraid of that happening. You are speaking that into existence. So depending on what you say the rest of the time will depend on when it happens. It's 12-12. How it happens, how intense it is. But you're the one creating your reality. You're the one creating your reality. Oh, by the way, I need you to understand something. You are the only one creating your reality, but you've been convinced everything outside of you has the power. They don't have the power. That thing that happened didn't have the power. The date didn't have the power. The full moon didn't have the power. The supposed gods and goddesses and all the spiritual powers outside of you don't have the power. No one has it but you. So it's a bit weird to really take that as truth, but you have to step in it. You have to step over the threshold and embody it, embody it, embody it. Then you're going to start to see, where do you judge yourself? Where do you block yourself? Where are you holding on to the past? Because you can't take this stuff into the future, and we're diving into the fire year. So I want to give you ancient secrets for beginning this fire year. This is one of the most powerful years you will ever experience in your life. The next few years, this is nothing. I saw something the other day. Somebody said, wow, we've already had the most intense year ever, and it's only February. And I was like, you haven't seen anything yet. Does that mean you have to have fear? No, it means you have to get control of your emotions. You have to get control of your mind. You have to decide, who am I? What do I want to say? Where am I speaking negatively? Where am I creating negative things? Where am I co-creating this, the panic, the fear, the drama? Don't tell anyone else, oh, poor you. Oh, you have bad luck. Oh, you shouldn't, you won't be able to do that. Oh, this terrible thing happened. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Get control. It is not harmless. It is creation. You are a powerful, powerful, powerful being, and you are creating through every single word. Holy moly. It's so literal that if you are really willing, then come with me. Come to a retreat, come on a pilgrimage, come in a class. We have a whole new format unfolding this year. It's the wisdom of the ancients, the Mayans and the Celtics, the Greeks, the Egyptians, and we're going to be going around the year to sacred places. The more you can come to, the more activations you have. And it is a pilgrimage. This is a pilgrimage into your heart, into remembering the sacred powers you carry, the wisdom that you have, and how you create. It is a release. It is a rebirth. It is a fire ceremony, every single one. So the first one that I can tell you about is very private, so you need to email me, and it's in March around the equinox. It is my personal private pilgrimage that I've had 2 hits from Spirit that I might allow a couple people to come along. So it's just email me. Now, I'm going to be in San Francisco, north of San Francisco, in Marin County, San Rafael, Mill Valley, that kind of area. And we're going to have a beautiful sacred feminine retreat. Sacred feminine pilgrimage. Okay. So put these dates. We're going to be coming out with it soon. We will have more information for you very, very quickly. I'm actively in the process of locking down everything. But this is what I call a soft, sweet, and deep. Okay. This is a cocoon. There won't be a lot of traveling, but we're going to take advantage of the natural environment there. There's the ocean. There's waterfalls. Okay. There's redwoods. All right. There's a lot of sacred nature. So we're going to be allowing nature. We're going to be speaking to nature. We're going to be using the fire. And I'm securing, if anybody has anything in that area that you want to volunteer, donate, or tell me about, where we can have fire ceremonies. We can have at least a decent sized fire outside, or maybe a big one, because this is the fire year, because this is happening very quickly in the next few months. This is the beginning part of the fire year, but it's just after the first quarter, and it's just after the equinox, and it's just after the first eclipse season. So you will be a different person, and we will gather together and go deep into love and peace and healing and sacred feminine priestess trainings and fire wisdom and magic and love. And it's going to be an intimate small group. So make sure that you, I don't know, 6 to 10, maybe 12. Okay. So all you need to do is just email me, nan@nanakasha.com, or Donna, ASST@nanakasha.com. Okay. So I want to show you some beautiful things, and say hi. And I want to share a couple of wisdoms. So I'll see how this comes through, but the biggest thing right now is that you open yourself up to the fact that you are here with a mission. The mission is bigger than what you can imagine. It isn't being successful and having money and finding your soulmate and making a difference and writing a book that changes lives. Yes, yes, yes to all of that. But that is not what I'm talking about. Beyond getting out of where you are right now and getting past anything that you feel like is taking a long time, or you feel uncertain, or you feel frustrated because you're stuck, or, okay, whatever current story you're in. It's your story. Change it. And everyone else's story is their story. Stop trying to change it. Period. You got that. These are wisdoms, and I'm going to try to give them to you in sound bites so you can eat them. All right. And at these pilgrimages, then we're going to also be in Glastonbury, and we have the Chalice Well reserved for private 2 hours. We have the White Springs reserved for private. We're going to be going to all the sacred places in the Magdalene Chapel and talking with the goddesses in the earth. And this is a very deep Celtic and goddess and ancient based sacred feminine pilgrimage, because we have to resurrect this part of us. And we will be working with some male energies like Merlin, like Arthur, and Guinevere, and the heart chakra of the world. So of course, this is a heart healing, but it's also a water purifying. So we're going to be doing fire with water. Okay. The sacred stones everywhere we go. Private access to Stonehenge if you want. That'll be an add-on day. That is an extra thing. Are you there to receive codes from the stones? They're awake, they're alive, they're full of codes, they're full of frequencies, songs. They were made a certain way by certain people. They know if they were made by women. They were put in this place. They've been used for this. They have powerful energies. The minute you're near any of these things, especially if you're prepared, especially if you do this work with me, especially do the work to align and cleanse all these heavy energies out of you, you have to learn to take back your power. And it's not going to happen through meditating 10 times a day. That's fantastic. But I need you to be more mature and say, I am going to listen to myself and find where I'm judged, where I'm speaking negatively. I'm not going to stop myself speaking out loud only. I'm going to then watch what my thoughts are inside, or what the voice inside, or what the feeling inside. Because you can say, oh, everything's fine, it's perfect. And inside you're going, yeah, right, sucks, right? So these have to become coherent. And then what are you feeling? Oh my God, it's not going to work. Oh, it works out fine. It works out fine. It works out fine. And you've gotten your mind and your words working together, but you're okay. So this is what I'm talking about. This is mastery level priestess training. This is for the sacred, wise people, but anyone. You don't have to be doing this as a profession. You're living as a human. It's time for you to focus on your heart. It's time for you to get rid of the mask that you've been wearing and the collective conscious conditioning that you have, and actually free yourself so that your deeper heart can speak to you. There isn't any other way around it, right? So the next thing is if you go and you become, all right, you become what it is you would like this. So going back to my friend Jackie, she had this phrase. If you were standing with a group of people and they said, oh my gosh, wasn't this a terrible thing? Can you believe this person did that? Isn't this bad? She would literally say out loud to this group and look really rude, because it's polite, right, to agree with people. Not on my planet. No, she'd actually say, not on planet Jackie. She's not going to agree to that. She's not going to agree to that. Why? Because if she agrees to that, that becomes her reality. Do you want to say, oh my God, all the people on the road are rude and I have this road rage and it's all their fault and it's just terrible and this horrible thing happened and that horrible thing happened and the news and this and that? Don't agree with it. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to tell people they're wrong. In fact, you shouldn't. You should just remove yourself or say thank you or change the topic or make it clear that this is not something you're interested in talking about, and then moving on to something else. Don't blame anyone. Don't make them feel bad for their story. You begin to reclaim your energy field. So what do we need to do? We need to understand that there's a prophecy afoot. There's time cycles that are happening. They've been happening our whole lives. The Maya understood them. They understood them as cycles. This is the Hab 360-day sun calendar. This is the no, wait a minute. I got this wrong. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. This is the Tzolk'in. I have different ones. This is the Tzolk'in, which is the sacred lunar calendar, and the numbers. This is feminine. This is masculine. You are born. This is your astrology. I do these readings if you're interested. They're fucking amazing. Excuse me. So you are a day sign and you're a number, and they work together as a masculine and feminine. This is the Hunabku, their symbol for all oneness, the field source. And of course, you can see the incredible balance, the dynamic directions, the interdimensions, the spiral, the sacred feminine spiral. This is the balance of all energies, equilibrium. So they did believe in equilibrium, equality. All right. So there's this little book, and this man is adorable. It's called The 13 Mayan Prophecies. And it's by, I can't pronounce his name very well, so I'm sure you can look it up. Yetekpatle, I think. And it's actually just really lovely, because he looks at a lot of the information that is available in the sacred Mayan books for us. And he talks about a simple explanation for some of their prophecies. Now, why were they good prophecies? Prophets and prophetesses, because they understood cycles of time. They were the masters of time. They understood the cycles within cycles within cycles, and they're all affecting you. You start to study their calendar, and I'm a daykeeper. I'm studying to be a little daykeeper, and you have to understand all 20 day signs and all 13 numbers, and then how each of the 13 numbers interacts with every one of the 20 day signs. 1 ahau, 2 ahau, 3 ahau, 4 ahau. Okay, so 260 different versions that completely alters the basic energy, because the two together are playing. The feminine comes in as a galactic tone or a frequency that comes in through the number, through the frequency of a number. And that number has an effect of fluidity to alter, to flavor. So if every day sign is its own ice cream flavor, so if one's chocolate ice cream and one is vanilla ice cream and one is strawberry ice cream and so on, right? So then the number comes in and goes into the chocolate ice cream and begins to change at number 1. Hoon, she brings a different energy. She alters it. And then that chocolate now has nuts and chocolate chips and coconut in it or something. Okay. If you start to put it in a way, they go, oh, okay. Energies, everything's energies. You speak and it's energy. It's a command to energy. The world is standing here with a storehouse of everything you could ever want or think of. You're standing here with everything you could ever need and require. If you would surrender to your blueprint the way that a seed or a nut can surrender and become a tree, because it's not trying to figure out who it is. It remembers who it is. It knows who it is. It accepts who it is. And then it focuses on being ready when the right environment comes. So the right environment is happening now. The fire burns away the illusion. The fire burns away the past. And we survive because we are eternal. My new Mayan book is called The Eternal Ones. And this is because they understood these cycles of times in a way no one else understood. So they understood all the way now and way beyond now what would be happening. And that's why they encoded so much information in their books, in their symbols, in their paintings, in their temples, in the way they laid their temples out, which were laid out by the based on Atlantis, because Itzamna came from Atlantis here, the way that Thoth went to read the Emerald Tablets, right? Thoth went to Egypt and began the civilization there. That's what all the hoopla is about. Is he always said in the ancient book, it says, I hid all my Atlantean technology, my ship, spaceship, we're assuming, some kind of travel equipment and other sacred things under the Sphinx. So this under the pyramid thing is very relevant because it's like prophecies coming true. The truth will be revealed. It's rising from the stones. More people are becoming aware of the Maya. So we're really beautifully connected. And I'm very excited because I live here. I go all the time. I practice. I study with the elders now. I'm started a project to preserve the ancient Mayan wisdom and other indigenous cultures, and to create a space for their wisdom, for ceremony, for healings, for retreats. And I'm even looking at property right now in a town that's right near a pyramid. You can see the pyramid from the house. So if you'd like to donate, please send an email. We're going to be starting a crowdfunding very soon for not just buying this property and renovating it and making it into this center, but also to start the nonprofit business aspect of it. So we can accept donations, and then the nonprofit will be formed and will move forward. So we already have a lot of Mayan elders that have not shared their wisdom, that want to step up and share, that want to. We have connections. I've started some of the recording of the wisdom. Might be that I make books out of it. We may have it as a live series or a teleseries or a documentary. And then when we have the center, we'll be able to, my retreats will be able to be there, and we'll be able to bring people over to do ceremony, different healers we know, different shaman from different tribes, from different places, and work with the land and the sacred Maya and the ancient wisdom to draw it up out of all of us. We are the chosen ones. Maya means the chosen ones. And you are here because you are a chosen one. All right. So say hi. All right. So I want to tell you that he's talking about a book called Chilam Bilam. And the Chilams were the prophets, the clairvoyants, the god and goddess men, those who knew how to hide, conserve, and spread the sacred word of the ancient wisdom keepers, the lords, lordesses. That's what they called things. They did not believe in God as a supreme being over you. They did not believe in gods. Those words were put on their beliefs by the Spanish, of course, because that's the way they talked. So it's not uncommon. But I want to correct these things as we go through these ancient wisdom series, these teachings. I'm going to be sharing more and more of the nuances of the wisdom of the Maya and the misinterpretation that's happened, and any cultures that we dive into. So here's the thing: is they knew how. And then they called something a lord or a lordess. That does not mean somebody who owns you, right? The lord of your land, or they own you, or they own your land. That means they're the expert. The lord of the wind is like, oh, we need some wind. Oh, let's go talk to the lord and lordess, always equal, of the wind. That's the wind essence. And then in every culture, in every ancient tradition, you would find a word for the wind, or the god of the wind, or the goddess of the wind, or the sacred essence of the wind, or the breath of life, right? Everyone understood that everything is alive. And this is where we have to come back to. Everything's alive, okay? It's all made out of the same thing you are made out of, but you are divine in a body, and they are divine in a body. They're in a plant body, or a tiger body, or a goddess body, or a statue body, or a book body, but they are alive. Everything is alive. And there's frequencies coming out of this book. Like, you put it under your pillow, the frequencies will be coming. Thoth had me do that. My mystery schools were very closely with Thoth from Melchizedek, Metatron, Thoth, and so on, and then a group from White Buffalo Calf Woman, and many other beings that were a part of the circle of awakening, going through the left eye of Horus, the right eye of Horus, the ancient Isis mystery schools of Egypt. And what happens is that you understand the sacred word is a movement, it's a measure, it's a frequency. So they loved the snake. All cultures loved the snake, until the Catholic came and said the snake is a demon and it's evil. And most people on the planet still think that. So this is really important that we break that, because that is literally an installed fear for you to have against receiving unconditional love, being worthy of it without anybody else saying so. The priest can't tell you, the God can't tell you, the whatever power they told you to put out yourself, oh, the angels or Joseph or Mary or somebody in the bath. It doesn't matter who. You can love all of them. You can talk to all of them. They have gorgeous essences. I love them all. I channel so many different entities. There's no way for me to ever say, oh, I channel X. I channel this one being. No, not really. I talk to the realms. However, it's very important for you to have your own relationship with these essences. And it's very important for you to realize that the belief that the serpent is bad, or that it's only sexual, like tantric, the kundalini is only for sex. No, sexual power that comes from this chakra, the sacral chakra, is sacred. And it's creative power, it's creation power. So the more confused and upset you can be about sex, sexuality, creativity, fearing being abused in this area, shaming yourself in this area, you're not pretty enough, you're not good enough, you attracted someone attacking you and they said it was your fault. We have a history of this crap, okay? We don't need to take it with us. We don't need to figure it out. We don't need to find who's to blame. We don't need to make rules, okay? Blah, let's let it go. Boom, boom, done. Thank you. Great. Give it to Grandmother Ishmukane. Grandmother Ishmukane is the Mayan grandmother, the jaguar grandmother, who lives in the heart of the earth. She is the one that you send all of your pain to, like Gaia, all of your fear, all of your shame, everything you want to get rid of, you give it to her. She wants it. Gaia wants it. They compost it, don't they, right? They take your crap, your fear, your shit, your whatever, and they compost it into fertilizer for you, into fuel, into wisdom, into power. And she's always there. She's my life guide, and due to my Mayan birth chart, and she is so loving and she is so powerful. And I'm going to teach many more lessons on her. See all their beautiful jade. And this little beautiful bunny is Mother Moon. And they are pretty much like one. Look, they've got their arms around each other. So what happens when you give it to Grandmother Ishmukane? She says, oh, thank you, dear. No judgment. So this whole idea from religion that we need to be judged, that we need to be worthy, that we need someone else to say it's okay, and we need to confess our crap to somebody, and then they tell us, oh, okay, if you go do this thing, then you'll be good enough. None of it's true. And if you love it, do it, but know that it's not true. So it only is keeping you limited or making you feel better. Because that's true for some of my good friends. They have some traditions in certain religions that make them feel really good. So, but how is it affecting you? That's what's important. Now, is it limiting you? Is it telling you you're not good enough? Is it telling you that other people's belief systems? I could not shrink my mystery school down to one culture, regardless of that. I live here with the Mayan up at lightning speed and the wisdom's coming. And I couldn't believe that there's anything more important right now than people coming here and activating their DNA, activating their ancient DNA, activating the temples, receiving the downloads from the stones, understanding higher levels, going into the earth, being reborn, finding your inner child. The wisdom of this land is incredible. However, I couldn't not do Glastonbury or Celtic or the wisdom of the stones in that culture. I am Celtic. I got the blood. Okay. German, Scotch, Irish. I'm a Celtic girl. Then I have Greece. That was my first number one. And I'm being called to go back to Greece. And that will be one of our pilgrimages near probably February or April. Depends on a few other things that are on the calendar. So what we're going to be doing is going into classes, into online experiences together, into these cultures to cultivate the wisdom. And we're going to see how the 7 sacred mysteries of the Maya also reflect in the Celtic, also reflect in the Egyptian, and so on. And yes, we'll be going to Egypt too. So one of the things is so beautiful about the idea that we have wisdom that we can look at, that we can interpret, is that we have to wake up that we're one. So we do not accept someone else's interpretation. You have to awaken your own inner power of communication, your ability to read language of light, frequency, sound, color, symbols, not just understand German or Mayan. I learned one Mayan word a day, and I can't say that I remember it, but it's really fun. So I pick it up. I have the dictionary next to me, the Spanish Maya dictionary, and I pick it up and I say, oh, look, this is the one today. And I do a little bit, and it's just going to be this thing of where I am seeing it and accepting it and enjoying it, and it's trickling into my life. And I don't have an agenda on that I have to speak it or that it has to be perfect. It's just something that's raising my frequency and connecting me to the land, to the ancestors, to the stones, to the temples, to the sacred sites that are calling me all the time. I'm going on Thursday. So 13 Mayan prophecies, the clairvoyants, the prophets, they knew how to spread, conserve, hide. We had to hide the sacred wisdom, didn't we? Many of us are being called back to the ancient wisdoms, to the priestess or priest or sacred or wise one, however you prefer to think of it. We're being called back to that because we are ones holding codes, and we are ones that were trained how to download, turn off the wisdom we had, so that when the conquerors came, they could not hack us. They could not use us. They could not force you or torture you to use your sacred or your psychic powers. And many of my clients, and you might have this too, have uncovered realizations that this has happened to them in other lives. And it's another aspect of being afraid of your sacred feminine. Your sacred feminine is the energy of intuition, of languages that you don't see, you don't touch, you don't smell. The hidden, the invisible, but there's so many realms. You can access celestials and elementals and colors and frequencies and portals and so on. It just goes on and on and on. And there's realms within realms and worlds within worlds. So you need to say, not on my planet, but what do I want on my planet? And you need to start speaking it. And you need to start saying, I need to make sure that I am not contributing to a world that is going to hurt my children, that is going to hurt me, that is going to create imbalance. I'm not going to see victims anymore. I'm going to be loving, and I'm going to take my steps through the real world, but I am never seeing someone as a victim again, because we all chose to be here right now. We knew exactly what was going to happen, and we wanted it. So they were able to spread the word of the ancient lords, the Kukulkan, which is the feathered serpent, Quetzalcoatl. In 4 Ahau, that's the sun, our plumed serpent Lord would return. So many of you know Quetzalcoatl or Kukulkan, especially if you've been around me for very long. And it is their number one energy or deity. And of course, it's a snake. So a lot of what happened here when the Spanish came was to add to that, fear. I want to tell you, this is the most loving being, very similar, but different than my experience with Jesus, Lord Sananda, Yeshua, Yeshua ben Joseph, okay, whatever you want to call that entity, pure love. This being is what they're talking about in this prophecy. That happened in 2012. That means this energy came back to Earth, and it's been living in Venus. That's why they have a temple of Venus, which we will be visiting at every site. All right, in a very significant place, and often many of them, if they have separate areas for the men and the women or different types of schools, because these are sacred Mayan cosmic universities and the Cosmic Feminine University. So a plumed serpent, a feathered serpent, okay, is a serpent that is the sky or the divine, the feathers, the spirit, and the earth, the body of the serpent. And it's a rattlesnake that only lives here. All of their art is based on the patterns of movement and measure on it. And it represents unconditional love and sacred knowledge. So you know why they belittled the whole Eve thing and blamed the serpent and the woman, because they didn't want you to access sacred knowledge. They didn't want you to know that you have access to unconditional love, that you're loved and you're loving and you're worthy and it's here and it's right now. And if you're filled with divine love, then you know you're a creator. And that's what I want to invite you to do now. So in whatever way that you do it, let go of that idea. And here, the luminous word that becomes reality in the heart and the spirit of those that read it and understand it. All right. So what we've been gifted with is we have chosen to be alive at a time when the prophets, the prophetesses, the wise ones that rid the cycles knew that at this time, the sacred word of the divine, which is harmony and love and beauty and peace, and the fact that you are a creator, not someone outside of you. The plumed serpent, that's the flow of life force and light that comes in perfect balance down the pyramid. And we're going to be doing that in March at our retreat. So I highly recommend you come, because we go at a sacred time and we do the chants. Oh, it's so good. So the luminous word that becomes reality in the heart. What are the words you're saying? They're being illuminated by the energies, by the divine, by the mother. So if you say, everything sucks, my life never works out, this is terrible, I'm so afraid, I can't move forward, it's not fair, even once, but sorry, that's just the way it is for me too. Hey, Cheryl. Then that word becomes luminous and becomes reality in the heart and the spirit of those who speak it, hear it, read it, and understand it. But the same thing is true for illuminating words. So if you are changing your words and changing your thoughts and intending the reality and you got to think big and imagine to break free from the mind control, the brain, glands in the brain, depending how you eat, depending how you live, are for many people very, very calcified and unable to send a strong signal. So you might be doing everything right and not manifesting what you want, or it takes a long time, or it takes a lot of effort. So you want to make sure you're not getting fluoride in any way. It's toxic, period. Don't believe any of the crap. It's toxic, okay? You don't want to be drinking sodas. You don't want to be taking prescription drugs or over-the-counter drugs unless absolutely necessary, because everything has been filled with stuff to not just give you the relief you bought it for, but to dull your mind. And we have to use our imagination and use our visualization power and grow our hippocampus and grow our pineal and grow all of our inner eye and rejuvenate it, light it up, open that, because we are creators. And that's what this is telling us. The luminous word, your word becomes luminous, it becomes reality in the heart and the spirit. So it goes out from you and it's a thing. That's just the beginning. So I'm going to give you a little, I just want to read because I love the way this man talks. It's just very charming to me how much respect he has for the Maya. There's so much great stuff here, but the sky was represented by a great dragon, which created the rain when it spilled its blood as a supernatural counterpoint to the earth below. This is so significant because we're talking a lot about dragons and sacred feminine dragons. And I did the Atlantean class the other day, and wow, it was all about sacred feminine dragons, not dragons per se, but dragons like white buffalo calf woman, masters are dragons. All right, so let's see here. We don't want the math. We don't want the math. So, well, until this pops out at me very quickly, otherwise we'll just go right to the Here we go. Okay. All right. So this is what he says about the book of Chilam Bilam, which is one of the ancient prophets, psychics. Express the most extraordinary prophecies of humanity's history, coming from the magical thought of the Maya culture. They're currently being carried out to a T with admirable precision. The massive culture, in a spiritual sense, continues to amaze us with the manifestation of its mathematics, calendars, astroarchaeonomy, study of monoliths, crop circles, pyramids, medicine, shamanism, and a long, etc., etc., etc. The Chilamab were the prophets and prophetesses and men and women of knowledge that foresaw the arrival of the Europeans and saw the end of their world. Even though from a military point of view, one can say that they were beaten, from the spiritual and wisdom-based point of view, the defeat of the invaders was devastating. With an impeccable survival maneuver, they integrated themselves into the new religion without ever abandoning their own, merging with that of the invader in a display of audacity and strategy rarely seen. One more example is the brilliant intellect of the wise Maya is that between the discord of the texts, never mind, that's not important. Okay, so this is all speaking about Chichen Itza, which is interesting. These are ancient. Okay. And it says that starting in 2012 through now, this is where the Quetzal, the sacred bird, will arrive. And all of the different elements, the birds, and this time they'll gather at, and Itza means water witches or wizards. They were the magicians from Atlantis. And because they came from Atlantis across the water, and they built all of the temples over water based on Atlantis and so on, they were known as that. And it says the fourth time it arrives to the Itza, the water witch. And now all of these elements happened. And this puts this mythical city, it's not mythical, I go there all the time, as the seat in a spiritual sense. The people identified as seekers of conscience and the new witches of present day, those who have not conformed to the official religious traditions and that investigate their own being, that's us, those who navigate the dark sea of conscience, they will be the first to identify the precious Lord of the plumed serpent. What does that mean? That means we, the ones we are willing to seek, we're willing to look within, we're willing to look through our darkness and our fear, we're willing to master ourselves again, we're willing to let go of anybody else's story and decide what ours is. And then we will be the one that will start to feel this sacred knowledge as it moves through us. We will accept it. We will realize that that is within us, ready to rise. So now this is a literal thing, he said. Now what we have is, okay, I want to go show you something. All right, it's going to be so fun. This one, I guess. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. Well, I have to say that, I actually made these images. So what is this? Hello. Okay. What's going on? All right. Hang on one second here. That was weird. Refresh. Oh, verify it's you. Are you really you? Put your number in. Are you human? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Now you've been fingerprinted by the authorities. Oh, goody. Here we go. All right. All right. So wonderful that we have technology. I just don't want to complain. Okay, cool. Yay. Okay. So there's a reason that this title came through last year, and I hadn't paid a lot of attention to it until some of the books that are coming through me right now are about these ancient wisdoms and bringing it down and down and down into sacred steps and easy to remember concepts and reality bending mindsets, because we decode the library of the infinite. Yes, at a sacred site, there's all the energies of the sacred people who did ceremony. There's the intentions, there's the suns and the moons and the energies underneath it, and the stones are full of wisdom and all kinds of stuff. But we're also talking about you. We are decoding you and your sacred wisdom. So I spent many, many hours doing this, but it was way fun to get our beautiful grandmother with the serpent, with the moon, with the obsidian sphere, with the Hunab-Ku, which is the symbol here. The phoenix is the theme for this year in our school, because the phoenix in our heart is ready to rise, right? So, I was able to actually get, this is an actual representation of Uxmal, where we will be going in March. And this is the Sacred Feminine University of the Maya, and that is the Sacred Feminine Temple. As you can tell, it's oval. From above, it looks like an egg. And it is the temple of the moon, so this pure feminine. And the jaguar spirit, of course, being a jaguar medicine woman and being a very important part of the Maya, is often seen with its spots as the stars. So we have all these things represented here, and I want to thank all the energies that came together to help me make this. So the new book, and it's I don't know when it's coming out, because it's at a publisher now to see what we might do, but it's called The 7 Mayan Mysteries for Healing, Abundance, and Spiritual Awakening. And so the reason I want to share with you about it is that I am going to have these pilgrimages, and I am going to have Mayan Magic and Ancient Mysteries, Sacred Feminine Pilgrimages. And if you join one of those, then I'm going to make a class out of each of these 7 mysteries, and you're going to receive 3 of them, and we're going to do them live and interactive beforehand. So there'll be more information about that. Also going to be doing this soon. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I want to plant the seed for you to work with me with the abuelas. So the abuelas are the grandmothers, the abuelos are the grandfathers, or they're also called the ancestors. It's the same word in Spanish, but it's used very commonly. And the beautiful abuelas, the full moon, the sacred feminine pyramid symbols, and here's our fire of the fire year. So everything we do this year will be very, very focused on fire ceremonies, working with the fire, talking to the fire, and solar deities or solar entities, and dynasties or lineages really is a better word for now. So because we are in this very rare moment, the wise ones have gathered again, but that's why you and I are here, because we know that we're wise ones. So we chose to come. And when you go anywhere, you might go to a forest and you just stand and you feel the living life force coming. You honor the trees and the land and the insects and the wind and the dirt and the roots and the stones. And please always call on and honor the guardians of the land or guardians of place. A lot of people say, I call to the great mother, to Ishel or Gaia, YNNN, mother, I'm here in peace, I'm here in love, welcome me, protect me, guide me. I don't need to go anywhere, whether it's a cave or a temple or a forest or even down the street, without honoring everything as living and welcoming me. It's like going into someone's house. You know, you wouldn't just burst in the door and I'm tromp around, do whatever I want and throw some trash on the ground and go home, you know. Okay, I know you wouldn't do that. So, but the energy is rising and we can tune into it from wherever we are. But because we haven't really mastered our senses and our skills, and that's what we're going to focus on very strong the next couple of years in the mystery school, we have to get the sacred feminine mystic arts reawakened. We have to get our telepathy online again, because it's natural and it takes more work to ignore it than to reawaken it. So now the ancient stones, the living memory in your bones and in your heart. Okay. So like I said, the return of the sacred feminine mysteries in the fire year is the perfect threshold. We're in the right place at the right time. So let's go and see what the ancient Maya wisdom carried by the grandmothers, the masters of light, the prophetesses, the priestesses, who tracked, foresaw, and prepared for this time. So one of the most fascinating things to me is that maybe you're like, oh, I know I was an oracle in Delphi, or I know I was a priestess, or I know I used to, read runes, or I can see people's, diseases or energy, or I just know this about people or whatever, right? Of course, everybody has these powers. We weren't taught we had them. We were taught to fear them. They get confusing. We shut them down. We have fears and blocks and mindsets, right? All these things on these different levels that are interrupting the ease and flow of communication. Like, oh yes, I would love to receive some information, but you have to say you want it, and you have to open certain channels and become good at that. So the thing is that if you just go back to saying, I'm remembering, I'm not achieving, I'm not chasing, I'm not figuring out how. Go to things that give you an experience, that open and awaken you to the ability within you to listen, to observe. My experiences are very experiential, and you'll be having your own experience inside of the group experience. All right. Now, this year, the fire is the initiator. So the phoenix rises from the ashes because of the fire. So we have to befriend the fire. But the phoenix is in our heart, and we recognize that it's there the way the imaginal knows the butterfly within it. So the fire can burn away illusion. It can burn away fear. It can burn away connections to beliefs that don't support you. It can burn away the words that you're speaking that don't need to go anywhere. Okay, you could bring in the violet flame, and then it would transmute it and reconnect you to your purpose. So beliefs, limits, so that the phoenix can rise. We're preparing for the phoenix to rise. We're not forcing it. We're not asking it. We're not chasing it. We're not saying, when is that phoenix going to rise? Okay? Because you go, oh, I'm in the right place. Thank you, grandmother. Reconnect to that inner song. It's very, very sacred. It is your soul signature frequency. And awaken your priestess wisdom. And remember your freedom. All right. So, oh yeah, I forgot. So these are some things that I am doing, and I'm not sure how I'm going to share them, and I don't know that they're relevant here. So let me just see. Well, I am going to be speaking. I am doing this San Francisco pilgrimage, and then I'm going to be speaking at the New Living Expo. And it's my topic is something like this, but it's an experience connecting Maya, Egypt, and Atlantis. All right. So, um, well, I'm going to get a sip and I'm going to just put these here. They do want to speak to us. So at some moment now, I'm just going to go into a little transmission, receiving some of the Mayan wisdom if there's anything else. And then you can be looking at these. If there's something here, a word, a concept that wow, open something, receive it. Okay, this is divine communication. I channel all these things and then I go, which one am I meant to do? Okay. Okay, so there's some really beautiful concepts here, right? Do you feel them kind of speaking to you? So when we go to Stonehenge, when we go, there's dragons and serpents in the ground. There's earth energies, but there's also these beings, and there's wisdom there for you to gather. The stones also, the configuration, the high altar, but who knows? Okay, now you have also the idea that there's stargates. So now that opens you up. And the forbidden knowledge is true because we've literally been controlled. I mean, think about the US took over, like many, many countries, took the land away from the Native Americans and took away their stuff and shoved them onto land and put them in schools and cut their hair and didn't let them speak their language and told them they were bad and took away their entire culture. And most of that was done by the Catholics. They were put in Catholic boarding schools, but the country was based on a separation of church and state. So what on earth is going on there? That again is that overriding energy that's been keeping the world suppressed. And I'm not saying that if you're Catholic, you're bad. Okay, please forgive me. That I'm saying that they have had such power and such a negative interpretation of the information in the Bible, which, by the way, is really amazing. But you actually have to know how to read it. Otherwise, the story that you've been told is one of pain and guilt and stuff like that. So, the idea of repression was to keep you from sending a strong signal, from knowing that you have to master your body. The purpose of your body is if you speak and see and feel and you align it and you talk to the realms and you align with the energies of the day and you open the pathway before you and you always expect good things and then you surrender the how and the timing to the universe and you don't carry around the past. I mean, there's a lot to remember, right? However, if you're in the school or if you're in a path where you're repeating it, that's very powerful. What if you just skipped a lot of that and went right to the life you had? So the strong hidden truth energy is very powerful today. Today is Kawak. It is one of my day signs, and it means storm, but it's a sacred feminine, and it's a very mystical, sacred feminine energy. And this idea of hidden truth is the sacred feminine literally retracted into the center of the earth like that, and now it's coming back up. It's like the rising, the stirring of the inner waters. If it's happening in the earth, it's happening to you. If there's an explosion, there was an earthquake in Mexico City. I heard it wasn't too big, actually, 5.7, but it was felt and had an impact. What does that mean? Well, then you feel it in your body, maybe, depending on, you don't have to be here, right? So now the hidden truth pulls in the seekers who feel something that has been deliberately withheld. Do you have a part of you that says, I just know there's something more. I just know there's something different. I just know that within me, there is a solution and I have not been allowed to see it. I have a missing piece. This is the truth. We've been gifted. Okay, some things have been in mystery school. Some things have been secret. Some things have been left in code. But even in the modern times and in our history, there's a level of what's done in the schooling, in the news, in everything. Okay, and I don't want to go down that road because it's not about getting negative about that, because that won't help. That's the reflection. That's within us. We have to go inside here and say, okay, I'm no longer supporting a reality where the people of the most influence have and are continuing to do everything they can to dumb my power down, to turn the power down on my brain, my clarity, my focus, my ability to put out a stream, calcifying things, bringing fear, doubt, constantly tweaking me. If you're scrolling, you're listening to 1,000 people's story. Do you have time to listen to your own story? Could you scroll through your own story? Could you write a story you want to live and then scroll it? Okay. So the forbidden knowledge has been forbidden, and then we agreed. So we're the ones that have the key to free it. Before history was rewritten, we want to go to these places because you will connect directly, or through these processes, you will connect directly to receive that direct wisdom. Now, Maria is going to bring for our retreat in March, not only the dowsing rods and all her information. She thinks there's going to be some alignments that are the same as Egypt, of which she's an expert, just wrote a book about. Decoded 17 other countries, all the sacred sites, and Mars. She works on that scientist team. So we're going to not only actually be part of being the ones that investigate with her what is the alignment of here, but you're going to be able to speak to it, because more than just her instrument or her new equipment that measures the torsion field, that we can then look and say, oh my gosh, those are extraterrestrial energies that are coming down right here at this place, and now they're being amplified, and these are terrestrial, these are earth energies that are coming up, and you're going to be able to see it and feel it and understand, oh, this has a 3 blah 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 magnification. I don't know how it actually is framed. That means that it is raising your consciousness. It is raising your state of consciousness. It is freeing you from limits, diseases, everything in every level of your body the minute you're standing there. Now, what are you doing with that energy? Well, if you're like most people and you're just walking through it and you're ignoring it, maybe it's helping you a little bit or seeding something, but you're probably not getting a whole lot from it. If you go with intention, if you go open, if you go ready, if you've spoken to the land, if you've spoken to the spirits, this is what the ancients knew, every single culture. You are divine in a body. You came here with a very important purpose. That purpose is not to pay your bills and not upset your mother. That is not to attract the perfect man and never have to work again. It's not to have $1 million in the bank and the cutest butt ever. Have any of those if you want them, but don't make them your goal, and don't make them more important than your spirit, because you're missing the boat. Now you can miss the boat, and then you can die, and you can go and you go, oh, I missed the boat. Oh man. Okay. Well, no problem, because there's no judgment in the universe. The divine mother, the heart of the sky, the heart of the earth, you're the heart of the hearts. That's another Mayan belief. That entire being, masculine energy, divine energy, the infinite field. Okay. Pick your quantum physics or whatever term you like. And then below you, the planet, the earth, the divine mother, the life force within it. That's the heart of the earth. That's your body. That's physicality. And who are you? You're the trunk of the divine sacred tree. You're the axis of life. You're the pillar of light between the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth. And you have to be in it, and you have to realize that you're connected to all this energy and that it meets inside of you if you breathe the right way. Breathe with your mouth closed into your brain. All right. If you think a certain way, if you master these laws, don't just know them and run to the next course. The science of ascension is about spiral unfolding, awakening, rewiring your DNA, and then realizing everything that's happening to us right now is unfolding this. The question has to be, what if we thought differently? What if this isn't the only way? What if that's not the best way? Let's not suppress it. Let's acknowledge that it's over and move to something new. Are we the portal builders? Are you a portal builder? I'm a portal finder. I'm a portal traveler. I'm a portal awakener. I don't know if I'm a portal builder. Neil, my friend at Portal to Ascension, he knows he was a portal guardian in the Orion belt. For people who were passing from Earth or other planets to other places. So the stargates are everywhere, all of this stuff. You don't need a spaceship. You don't need to go to Mars, and you don't need a moon base and all that. This is all right. So the idea is that time and light hold codes, mystery, wisdom, powers, and freedom. And that freedom is inside of us. That wisdom is inside of us. There's spiritual technology living inside of us. There are codes and passwords that will open wisdom, knowledge, vaults, understandings, but you have to raise your frequency. You can't keep speaking, oh, this person was mean to me. You can't say any of it. To whatever level you can start at, just start, okay? That's Expo audience. This is funny. These were titles for possible things. Let's see. Ooh, that's a juicy one. So you can pop in the chat if you want. Which one do you like? I like this one quite a bit. Ooh, I love this. Okay, so that's what we got going on with Maria. Go for it. Go over there. I'm sure that the link is here below us. And you're going to also get to spend 2 days with the Mayan elder doing ceremony, chanting, going to these places, being with him, knowing the wisdom. There's never been anything done like this before. Nobody has ever brought together these people. And it probably won't happen again, to be honest, because everybody's lives are unfolding. So seriously consider coming, okay? This is something that you feel a call to. There's a way for it to happen. So just let me know. Now, upcoming soon, and then we're going to dive into a little transmission here. The new moon eclipse is coming, as you know, on February 17th. It is the Chinese New Year. We have already, if you joined the Portal to Ascension, please go get it. The final shedding was a co-produced thing I did with Neil. It's still available there. It's free on Portal to Ascension. And we did a show with several other speakers. And so we had 2 Chinese astrology experts talking about the year of the fire and the ending of the snake year. Really good information. And then I did more of a sacred experience with the fire, with the idea of the fire, how to access your sacred feminine in the center of a fast yang horse. Okay. So, but the first expert, our master Clarice, who is a Chinese Feng Shui master, she said that we have already entered the horse, that yes, that technically it begins on the new year on the 17th, but on the 4th, we have what Donna Stellhorn, our other expert, said is a eclipse activation day. So we are in this energy now, and you are also finishing up the snake year. So just be aware, because we're going from wood, earth, to fire and air, lots going on. And then I'm going to start a series of the ancient priestess wisdom, because the sacred feminine mystic arts have to become a rise. I'm finally going to officially say that the Sacred Feminine University is available now in both the Maya world and everywhere I'm going. Our roots come from Atlantis. We all current cultures come from Atlantis. So I had a lot of fun with this beautiful being coming through phases and phases and phases, bringing in the butterfly. And I'm going to share with you why the butterfly is the symbol of Atlantis, what it means, why it's in the heart. Of course, she has the phoenix because that's the theme this year. We have the dolphin energy, and we have the crystal energy. We have all of those, and the truth of who we were then is as relevant as any other life you had that was touching on this. And then we're going to be going to the Maya world is full of portals to Atlantis. We always have people going to Atlantis. Okay. So we did that. Okay, let me see. So these are, oh, okay. I wanted her to put them on the same slide, but whatever. These are just some. I want you to just start to breathe in. These are some of the beautiful divine sacred feminine wisdom keepers that came to me as I've been writing and for several weeks now. And I've been behaving, not rushing forward, saying we're going to do a class. This is what the school is, because it's needing to unfold in a very new way. And I like authenticity in the teachings. I like it to be what I've experienced and then what Spirit says through me. And so this is a Maya, of course, priestess or woman. And the symbols are very powerful. So jade and obsidian were the two most important crystals. They also worked a lot with clear quartz crystals, of course, because they come from the Atlanteans. The jaguar is an important spirit guide. The symbol is the Hunab-Ku, which is the one. The pyramid in the background is the sacred temple at Chichen Itza, which we're going to be at, where the sacred serpent comes down, the archaeoastronomy. The jaguar is also on her staff. A staff is a symbol of power. It is a symbol of will. It is not a symbol of power over anybody else. It's a symbol of channeling power from above and from below through your own magic, your own intention, which is why you have to master your mind, your imagination, and your heart. Okay. And this is kind of a young version. This is our Avalon Celtic priestess, and she wanted her younger self to come. So there's some more of these wisdom keepers coming to me that are showing like 3 of themselves behind them, or 2 or 3 when they were younger, because everything in your life was part of your training. And it doesn't matter if you're an older, a sage woman, or you're younger. This is representing the sage within you. So you can see that working with the Tor, working with the Lady of the Lake energies, working with the Celtic water, working with the gold and the green because of the heart chakra, the crescent moon for the wisdom of the priestesses of the land, and more. So the symbols and things are here for you to just breathe in. This is why I said is we're going to dive in and get a message from the Maya wisdom. But to me, all of the sacred feminine is rising now. This is our sage essence in an ancient Egyptian manifestation. And she has Isis and Hathor behind her. Of course, the sun disk and the phoenix and the all-seeing eye and the Ankh, the everlasting life, and the Uraeus, the serpent on her head. And everything has been carefully crafted for her through me to carry a specific frequency for you right now. So the energies, the symbols, she is speaking to you right now. So just take a silent moment to breathe her in. Breathe her in. Really enjoy her. Yeah. Why not? Be one. Be. Okay, well, I lost my internet and my computer's still not really responding. I look like I'm tiny and there's no screen, so I just came back to say bye. And I'm going to be sharing more with you about. Please send me an email if you are interested in our pilgrimages, our classes, our sacred trainings, and come back here, subscribe. Make sure you get notifications and have a beautiful and blessed day. Beautiful, beautiful moment in time. Ciao.